Hi everyone, my name is jjrennie and I'm here to talk about my final project, and this is part 1. So some background information. The NC State Climate Office, which is housed in Raleigh, maintains a set of weather stations across the state known as NC EcoNet. It is 41 weather stations in 33 counties, and it was developed to monitor the weather and climate information for the entire state of North Carolina. Here's the statement of the problem I'm proposing. Well, I live in Buncombe County, which is in the western part of the state here, and it's also home to the city of Asheville, North Carolina. And as it stands now, it currently has no EcoNet station. There's 3 stations just to the south, but they're on the border in Henderson County, and there's 1 station close by to the east, but that's at Mount Mitchell, which has an elevation of over 6,000 feet. So in order to be able to understand the conditions for the city of Asheville, it would be nice to have a station somewhere in the county, in addition to helping potential interpolation techniques, which is what the State Climate Office does. So here's some criteria that I've developed for station selection inside the county. First off, it must be inside the county limits. It must not be within 10 miles of other EcoNet stations. It must be outside the city limits of Asheville because of the urban heat island effect. It must be within 1 mile of a primary highway for easy access to the site. It must not be in mountainous territory. We are in the Blue Ridge Mountains here, so the site should be no higher than 250 feet from the city's official elevation. And finally, there should be no or little economic development near the area. So here are my 3 questions. Question 1, where are locations in the county that are outside the city limits, not within 10 miles of other stations, and within 1 mile of a highway? And as you'll see, this will be done using a series of geoprocessing techniques on vector data. For question 2, of the locations in question 1, which ones are not in developed areas and have similar elevations to downtown Asheville? That'll be a series of techniques on raster data. And for the third question, of the locations found in question 2, what is the largest area in a zip code boundary with a population of under 10,000? This will be a combination of raster and vector analysis, and at the end we'll have a calculation of area. So here's the data I'm using for question 1. It's a list of the stations provided by the State Climate Office, and we also have the shapefiles of the county limits, the city limits, and the primary highways in Buncombe County. For question 2, our raster data will be the digital elevation model and the National Land Cover data set. Both are currently clipped by the county as an input data source. And for the third question, we will use zip code shapefiles for the county that has population information in there. So here's just a screenshot of ArcMap of some of the processing that was done for question 1. So you can see the 10-mile buffers for the stations and the 1-mile buffers for the primary roads and the city of Asheville. So just by doing a little eyeball test here, it looks like the results will be in the northern parts of the county. Here's the model that I built. So here's some of the processing that is done to answer the first question. So it includes some buffers, some erases as well, and at the end, an intersect to get us to the answer of question 1. So let's take a look at the web map. So here it is here. The county is in gray here, and the city of Asheville is sort of in a yellow here. These flags are the current EcoNet stations. So again, the 10-mile buffer will kind of block any results in the southern part or even the eastern part of the county. Most of the results are in the north and in the northwest part of the county as expected. There's a couple others here alongside the roads. And it looks a little hard to see here. I'll zoom in, but here's the city limits of Asheville, so some odd things are happening with the shapefiles, but if I toggle on and off here, it does show that the results are not inside the city limits, and some of the oddities that are showing up here are because the the city is so oddly shaped. All right, so what are our expected outcomes for the remaining questions? The results of question 1 are in the top left here. For question 2, with the raster data, because most of the results are in the north and northwest part of the county, I expect areas where there's pasture and hay, and also areas with low elevation. I'm pretty sure that this is where the results will be. These 2 parts here will probably be taken out because of the developed areas and parts of elevation as well. And for question 3, using the zip code population data, we're looking for areas that are less than 10,000 population. So the cities of Leicester and Alexander are in this area, so I would suspect that the final result for station location will be here. And thank you very much.